CMPRadio.net. It's the station.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to CMPRadio.net, the voice of Chester. This is the wonderful world of Rich Blye coming to you live from off of the streets of Chester. How's everybody doing today? I hope everyone's doing fantastic. I am doing incredibly great. It was a great weekend. It got kicked off on Friday last weekend with Fusion Fridays, courtesy of Uncle P and CMPRadio.net and all of our partners that showed up. Give yourself a round of applause. We really do appreciate you so much for all of the hard efforts that you come in from your setups to your engagement and making sure that the community gets exactly what it needs on our Fusion Friday events. As you know, we are exiting the month of July, and we are coming into the finale of a summer with our August coming in. So with that being said, August 21st is our next date, Uncle P?
August 7th.
August 7th, I'm sorry.
Yeah, August 7th, Memorial Park.
Memorial Park, there we go.
And then August 21st, we're doing the block party.
And 21st, see, I knew it was something on the 21st. I got a lot of dates coming up. And when I mean a lot of dates, a lot of social engagements that I have to attend. And I haven't programmed my August calendar yet. So while we do that, we'll make sure that we'll put that in. So Fusion Friday, we'll put that in right now. And that starts at 4 o'clock, everyone.
Depending on the weather. If the weather says it's going to rain a little bit later, then we'll start it earlier. But, we'll know the week before or coming up.
There we go. But you can always shoot for 4, so that way if we started early, you always come in the middle, but you'll be here. And, we appreciate that. We like that. Bring the kids, bring the grandkids, bring yourself. Come on and have a good time. We got something for everyone. We have something for every single person. All right. So with that being said, I want to give a shout out to my sister, Pauline Sabatino, and her nonprofit organization, Recovery Without Barriers, which helps the substance abused and the unfortunateness of those who are displaced or without a home here in Delaware County. They've been around since 2017, 2018, 2019, officially and unofficially before that. But my sister hit me up, Saturday night, and sent me a text and let me know that she received so many cases of these socks. Like 250 pairs and by a case. So we have some calf length Bomba socks, very comfortable. And we have some, it says extra small, But I think your toddler to intermediate sized child can absolutely put their toes in there. I know that our children have some big feet nowadays, but you know, what I'm going to do on behalf of Recovery Without Barriers and my sister Paul Ann Sabatino from out of Upper Darby is donate 3 cases of these socks to my brother and Navy midshipman, Mr. Lamont Harris. Mr. Harris has a back to school jammy jam every single year since I've known this man, going now on 10 years. And we all have seen in the news and seen in Delco Times about the unfortunate destruction of his outdoor kitchen, which has been, a staple in his local community, in which he does his Super Saturdays at the terminal. And, he's a credit to not only as a person who has served this country and this nation, he is definitely a credit to the city of Chester and all of his community work, supportive businesses, things of that nature, and supportive me. So I'm going to make sure that along with the great items that they're going to do for their back to school jammy jam, that these socks get added into the book bags, because a lot of parents, they got to get school clothes and stuff like that. And sometimes socks get lost in the translation, or sometimes you just need an emergency pair of socks inside of a book bag, and it's right there. So we're going to try to make sure that we even it out for everyone there, but I can guarantee you that we have over 500 pairs of socks. So I don't see anybody not getting a pair of socks for this event. So shout out to my brother Lamont Harris. I wanted to make sure that, I got you coming, brother. Like I said, it's been a long weekend for me. A lot of things going on at the American Legion this weekend with a lot of punk rock heavy metal bands. Shout out to my man Curtis and Abby and for holding it down, chief engineer, my guy at the American Legion. I just want to let everyone know that when it comes to doing community related stuff, it's not always inside the box for us at our American Legion. The American is first because it's about America. So the American Legion and the efforts that we try to make to stay relevant in our community is opening up the doors to anyone with a positive experience that can enhance our footprint that's going on 100 years. So shout out to Curtis and Abby, my boy George Alexander. There's a ton of people that are involved with putting together these heavy metal shows and putting together, a ton of things that go into it. And I just want to say thank you for bringing people that I probably would have never met into our building, to see doctors, lawyers, nurses, electricians, dentists, professional people, professionals. These are professional people in the building, but they may be dressed differently. They may have piercings. They may listen to different types of music, but they're Americans. And they need their space to enjoy the type of music that they enjoy. And we have that for them at the American Legion. So again, shout out to my people that have been taking care of us while we take care of them at our Upper Darby American Legion. So the subject matter is the politics of Delco. And it's not the politics of Delco that I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is this group called the Politics of Delco. But before I get into that, let me talk about something a little bit more important than the politics of Delco. As of today, the Supreme Court has ruled that the TPS status of Haitian Americans in America ends. That means that the federal government, ICE, under the Trump administration, can now start processing those who have been here since the earthquake in Haiti and have renewed or asked for extensions to the TPS agreement. But the Trump administration was successful in lobbying with the Supreme Court, and they ruled that temporary is temporary And starting pretty much, that's going to be the hardest hit state is Florida, where there is a large Haitian community, but it will be spreading into other states because ICE is already ready and prevalent all across the nation. So the highest concentrations will be in states like California, Minnesota, Pennsylvania, specifically the Philadelphia area and region. Now, the temporary protection status of Haitian Americans was legally agreed to with legal extensions. The State Department has deemed Haiti still unsafe for American travel, but you have had Haitians who are Americanized by now, and the land that they left maybe as children is not their land anymore. Not being disrespectful to the law-abiding citizens of Haiti, but is in turmoil ever since the Clintons jacked it up. I hope I hit a mark on that, because that's true. The relief has never hit that country, the country of revolution, the country that is the birth of ending slavery, the country that said no, the country that stood up first. I want to say something to people, and they don't understand this. Every time that it takes a conflict for somebody to go and kick something off and beat the hell out of somebody, a black man's got to start it. You notice that in history? It's always a black man that's got to kick shit off. I'm serious. You look at Crispus Attucks. You look at Toussaint. You look at men who were oppressed, young in their life, understood strife, had the cognitive ability to look at their fellow human being as being similar or going through similar situations in a similar environment, and having more courage than the other to stand up to be a leader and promote that leadership. It's always been the rallying point of black men when it came for causes of freedom, causes against the human condition that have been stricken with strife, the evilness and wickedness of government. And now, because we have Haitian families that have gotten married, we have Haitian family members that have produced children. Can you imagine that the person that you have loved for the past 10, 15, 16 years, that you may wake up and never see that person again because something that was legally done, because of something that was illegally done, because of a crisis that happened on that land in the island? That is the reason we're going to send them back. When you know that there are gangs, you know that there are lawlessness, you know it is. And this is why there's a ban over there for Americans, because it is reported by the State Department. This is the conflict that I have. If you're stating that it's dangerous for Americans to go to Haiti, imagine what you're sending naturalized Haitians who have been here in America. Imagine what you're sending them to. Now, I've never been to Haiti, so I don't know. But I've heard from a lot of people who are Haitian. I've heard from the Delva sisters. I've had conversations with them about their homeland and about their family. I watched their segment, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I hear them, I listen to them, and I got a concern about that, because that's, in my opinion, this shit ain't fair.
Did you have a concern when they were doing it to the Mexicans?
I had a concern when...
Yes or no? Did you have a concern when they were doing it to the Mexicans?
Okay, I'm going to say this again. Illegal versus protections. Illegal versus protections.
Again, they're showing you that it doesn't matter.
No, it's showing that they're going for a different demographic.
It does, because they were allowed to go after the first demographic. So if you allow somebody to
the first demographic was not given permission to come into the country. The Haitians were given permission.
That's not. But that's the problem.
It was a real crisis in Haiti, right? A real crisis.
It's a real crisis in all these countries, countries, bro. It's fucking gangs killing people, murdering people. It's politicians taking money, looking the other way. It's real crises in all of these countries that people are. Hold on. That people are running from to come here. So if they're running from something,
right,
and you have more than anybody else, let them in.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you this.
The fuck?
I'm gonna ask you this. Why do you come and not help fight to go back and fix what is wrong? Instead, you come here, and the ones that fight are Black Americans once again, while others enjoy the liberties of the freedoms that we have.
Because that's what America is
about. Okay, so again,
when we fight wars, we're fighting wars in other places. We have since the Civil War, we haven't fought one war in America.
War 1812. Oh yeah, no, Civil War. No, hold on. No, we haven't fought it. No, we haven't.
Not one
now.
Not.
We're fighting one now, but
I mean, we're fighting one now, but we're not really fighting because ain't nobody really worried about what's really going on. You feel me? Because everybody's more concerned about their personal goals and their personal. They forgot what this country was really built on.
But so hold on a second.
Right?
If this country was hold on a second. We can't see this. This is the hypothetical, and this is why I'm gonna get into the politics of Delco with this, because we can't pick and choose when we want to choose our country and then choose when we want to disparage it.
Yes, you do.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't. You can't fight. Listen, bro. You can't fight.
So you're saying there are men that have fought in the military that still love every ounce of this country after they sat over there in Afghanistan and blew people's houses up and shot people in the fucking head and killed kids and see dead bodies, that they still believe that what they fought for was correct? That's what you're saying?
My brother.
That's what you're saying? Yes or no? Yes or no?
I'm gonna say yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you know why?
Right, and I'll show you. I'll show you about 5 of them that don't feel that way.
I know.
Right.
I know. But
right.
I'm gonna give you one. I'm gonna give you one.
That's all that matters. That one person.
I don't need 5.
The individual. That's all that matters. We ain't worried about how the group think. We not worried about group think. Right. We're worried about individual think.
Right. I'm giving you an individual.
Right.
One individual. Okay, just one. My dearly departed Brian Sheree Taylor.
He's not here.
Right.
So
But what I'm saying, when he was here, what he fought for and what he protected was the same things he went to war for. Because he did go to war, because he did see these things, because as a soldier he did see these atrocities, because everything you just mentioned, you are absolutely right, bro. 1,000%. Especially in modern day warfare. That's why I had the young lady up here with the book when she talked about all of the things that went to her through her with the trauma in the military. It's an absolute fact that rapes occur. It's an absolute fact that children are killed. It's an absolute fact of that, bro. I'm not in denial on none of that. But what I'm saying is by giving you the one example of my dearly departed brother, yeah, he did enlist and go fight for what the government said. But when he came back, his disenchantment was poured into a different type of role. Because he was disenchanted with the way that the government had utilized him and did things he had to do service related, he came home and redoubled his efforts to showing the real strength of himself and used the aspect that the military gave him, the government, to help whoever came across his path. And I'm talking about whoever, bro. It didn't matter your color. It didn't matter your nationality. It didn't matter no ways. This is a man who has killed. This is a man who has shot people. This is a man who has blown up people. You know, my dearly departed brother. This is a man that was in the middle of the conflict. This is a man that guarded prisoners from the 9/11 attacks. These are absolute facts. And I know about disenchanted men. My father was one of them. My father had a complete hatred for the government, complete hatred for the VA. I got 2 different perspectives from 2 men in the Army. I've been to these veterans book signings. I've been to these veterans where all these other folks that talk about veterans, I don't never see them there, bro. They don't never show up. So when people tell me to understand the veterans' perspective about how this country has treated itself and like there's 2 sides to every coin, I do agree. But you can't pick and choose and say for one group of people to discard what they believe about America and what it is, and then say because other people have gone through this atrocity, come to America and just soak up our freedom and security without putting anything to it. We have put everything into the essence of America. And so has our Haitian immigrants that were legally given permission to come to America. Even through extensions, they were legally given permission to be here in America. Now, I understand the temporary thing. That's the part that bothers me. I understand the temporary thing. But in this petition, it should be, hey, if you've been here for 10 years, you haven't committed a crime, you opened up businesses, you sent your kids to school, you paid taxes, you did this, you did this, you did this, you should be given, hey, we're going to do a review. You ain't got to call it a stay. You ain't got to call it temporary. We're going to do a review of your case, and as you do your case, proceed as you are. Not threaten, we're just going to come and get you because we took the temporary off. With those individuals, and they weren't all Mexicans, so I ain't gonna blame Mexicans because there was a lot of able-bodied Chinese and a lot of able-bodied Russians, and there was a lot of able-bodied Europeans that came across the border too, along with the Mexicans. Everybody got a ollie oxen free pass to walk across that border undeterred in front of Border Patrol agents. They got a free pass. Nobody vetted them. When the Haitians came across during the earthquake, they were vetted. They weren't just saying, here you go ahead and do this. They went through a screening process. They came here, in a sense, legally. That's the difference that I have about this. I do feel the human pain, but when is it time for us not to always be the backpack for the world? I'm saying this for your future generation.
The fuck is you fighting wars if you ain't the backpack for the world for?
Bro, we need people to stop going over there and stop fighting wars.
Well, we're over there. We're fighting the war right now.
And guess what?
The
world is about to kick America off its bases to prove a point. And that's what diplomacy of other countries need to do.
No. Diplomacy of other countries need to just say, what they've been saying for years. But again,
stop asking for the aid.
It's the way we benefit from their lack of understanding. That's been since the beginning of trade bartering systems. These fools don't know what they have. We do. You buy land for peanuts. Then you give them blankets with poison in it so they die. You go to another land and capture the people that they have imprisoned and try to turn them from indentured servants into slaves, beating them, raping them, taking from them. Then you go back over there and realize that they don't even know the land that they have, how much land that they have. We can take this shit from them and we can rule them. France has done it. China has done it. Different countries, Germany has done. But this is what happens when people have a lack of understanding. And it was said before, and it'll continue to be said until we understand people at their lowest point will never understand the people at their highest. And they keep on taking advantage of it. So the people that benefit from war, the people that get richer, the people that make money, the people whose kids don't have to go to fight, the people whose kids don't have to worry about this stuff, those are the people you need to go ask these questions to. You don't ask the questions to the poor because the poor don't understand nothing but how to eat.
You always have someone who is on the landmass that the people want to conquer as guides, sellouts, betrayers, and they move people into positions of bondage. No one just comes over and says, hey, I'm just going to take the land. It has to be surveyed. Has to be somebody to explore, has to be a recon, has to be a test and a gauge of somebody that can infiltrate, that knows the language, knows the layout, knows the setup, just like a house robbery, pretty much. It's always an inside job. At any rate, that's my opinion. Welcome to the wonderful world of Rich Blye on cmpradio.net. I really feel as though that this circumstance is a little bit different than just people walking across the border. I feel very strongly about that. I know other people feel different. I know you're going to have your opinion on it. That's what it's for. That's what this program is for you to express your opinion freely without being insulting, without calling anybody names, without doing anything that might get you smacked up on the street. You know, we all need to be careful with our words because some people, like myself, it's Men's Mental Health Mondays, and, you know, you just have to be careful. That's all. You never know what anybody's going through. But let's get back to this Politics of Delco page, okay? Because I really, 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 really want to address this topic that's on this page. And I don't know if they got rid of it. I hope they didn't, because, you know, they don't want nobody talking about nothing up on this joint. So let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, there we go. Politics of Delco. So, Politics of Delco, if you follow it, if you don't, is basically a, you know, liberal bashing, Trump bashing, bash fest, bashful bots and real live people talking national politics about national nothing. Like, it's a successful group because you got a lot of boomers and Gen Xers primarily that like to come in here and toss insults at people. And some of them, like some of the lines in here are like really good. So I use a lot of stuff for comedic talent. But this one today is absolutely one for the books. So it was written by a gentleman by the name Jim Burrows. Hey Jim, it's me. Okay, don't get mad. It's happening, bro. That's what I do, because I don't like this one. It's not that I don't like what you said. What I don't like about it is the responses, especially by a whole bunch of Europeans. Okay, a whole bunch of Europeans. Some of these people only have black friends at work. Some of these people recently became involved with black people in their family because their kids are either dating a black man or black woman. They became grandchildren, blah, blah, blah. Or they were attached to the unsuccessful Black Lives Matter movement. When I say unsuccessful, because blacks are still being shot at a higher rate in black communities. And they're going to be mad at me for this. And I'm going to let them know that welcome to the wonderful world of Rich Blye. And I put it into the Politics of Delco because I'm the type of person, when I'm going to talk about you, I want to say it in your face. I want to make sure it's just like me standing right there on the corner if I saw you in the corner. That's how I get down. See, a lot of you see me on Facebook and you see me in, you know, other settings or whatever. And, you know, it really gets aggravating that you can't talk to people without people trying to drive an insult or trying to twist what you're saying when you're saying it regardless. One of the things that I do is that I speak. I'm not here for you, just like I don't come to you and go, oh, you know, your way of thinking is wrong. I might have a question about a topic and that's fine, but don't tell me wrong about the work that I do. Don't tell me I'm wrong about the life that I live. Don't tell me where I came from. Don't tell me where I live. And let's not do these unjust comparisons and talk about, you know, hey, you know, some people are like this, some people are like that, some people are similar, some are not. It's a very complex issue. But we're going to start with with this post that's still ongoing. We're going to get into the 200s and the 300s I see with this post. So on the Politics of Delco, which is a public page, the biggest problems facing black Americans is not white American. Same goes for women. It isn't the man keeping you from being successful either. The power to change oneself is first acknowledging you have the power to change yourself. I want to say something. That is exactly a true fact. If you have the courage, determination, and guidance to do that. In order to be successful in America, regardless of race or gender, really comes down to this. Step 1, graduate high school. Learn as much as you can while you were there. Take it seriously. Learn math, reading, and writing skills. If you can, learn accounting and economics. Now, watch this. The biggest problem facing Black Americans isn't white America, is that our high school kids are graduating illiterate because they're getting to the colleges and the colleges are proving that our kids can't read. Our children don't know anything about banking past Cash App, Venmo, Zelle. Our kids don't have real live bank accounts at real live brick and mortar buildings or at credit unions. This is why when we have our Fusion Fridays, we have Sun Coast Credit Union at all of our events, so we can teach the Black children how to go and sign up for a kids account where the credit union will help them understand banking, saving, interest better than school, because now the bank is working for you to help you understand what you are primarily here for. What these kids want is money. So graduate high school. We have a very high school dropout all across Delco. Mary Gay Scanlon and Children's First. You can go at Children's First. You can go on their website. All you have to do is look for the decline of Delaware County school students on the Children's First website, and you can go read the graphs and the charts for yourself. I'm not pulling no books out because I went to Wallingford for the meeting when Mary Gay Scanlon was there, when your school superintendents were there, all of them, when some of your high school principals were there for the rollout of this independent study. They had one for Philly and they had one for Delaware County. And I was there in the building present for the presentation of the numbers of the hard data that you can go to Children's First and go read for yourself. I had people questioning me about, where's the hard data? I told you where to go find it. You want me to read it to you. So obviously, you need help. But these are things that are going on in our Black community. Our children are not as proficient in math, reading, and writing, and you're bringing back cursive writing. Our children can barely print, but you're bringing back cursive writing. And I know people want to say, oh, that's racist. No, you know what's racist? When you took it. Because you made our children dumb. You took away a cognitive function of expression with your fingers. Stupid. But you want to sit up here and come and attack me. I can write in cursive, ma'am, miss ma'am, sir. I can read in cursive, sir, ma'am. But our children, who already are less than proficient than the national level here in Delaware County, because when you go to Children's First, once again, don't come for me. Go look at the numbers from 2025 exiting COVID, and then go talk to your school board presidents, and then go talk to your school district leaders, and you ask them about this study and these numbers before you come to Rich Blye about Rich Blye being in the building where they told you that your school districts are failing you. Don't blame me. Go blame Mary. Get a job. Everybody laughs when, Craig's daddy, the late John Witherspoon, today's word, J-O-B. And everybody go, I know that's right. I know that's right. You better get a job, boy. Every mama, single and or working, don't want no lazy boy in their house because these women either had fathers or mothers that went to work and they went to work too. So yes, in the black community, the biggest problem is get a job. But hold on, because of a lack of an education where your child is not in school for whatever reason, or not being taught properly in school for whatever reason, even if the school is inadequate, you have the tools necessary in your hands to look up anything you want and do it yourself. You have many educational tools that are online. If you are not getting the full satisfaction of your tax dollars, instead of crying about, oh, my taxes should be doing this, and they ain't, so your child is dumb because your taxes aren't being utilized correctly, that's the answer you have for me? You are an absolute idiot. Get a job. Look for jobs that no one wants to do or can't do and be an expert at it. People will pay for services they need for two reasons. One is that they do not have the skills, and it will take too long to acquire those skills, and they need the service or product. Second, they do not have the time or the will to do the service or create the product. This is why you have content creators. This is why you have people doing DIY stuff for Facebook and now turning it into a source of revenue. That is a job. But you got people in the Politics of Delco mad that this is on the list. How dare you tell these little black children that they need to get a job or look for a job no one wants, but while you complain about the Mexicans being here doing jobs that nobody wants, you telling a child, a teenager, look for jobs that no one wants to do or can't do and become the expert at it. Let me help you out with something, folks, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very true statement because you're looking at somebody who advanced that way. I do not have a degree. We're going to talk about Mr. 3 Degrees in a minute. I don't have a degree. I started off as a dishwasher, busboy, peeling potatoes, mopping floors, scrubbing toilets. That's how I got started. From the bottom, bomb, buck that trash. From the bottom. But see, at the same time, while I was doing that, I was watching other people do their jobs. While I was doing my job, I was seeing how the manager would come in and say, hey, you did really good with that. Hey, you did really good with that. And then I would watch that person's motions. And I would watch that person as they did their job. And I mimicked their mannerisms as they were doing their job. So when one day when that person couldn't come in and do their job or whatever, hey, we need somebody for the fry station. I can do it. I may not have been as fast or efficient as that person, but I was ready to step into position because I was aware of my surroundings to become an expert at something that I knew nothing about. Because opportunity knocks. And if you think cognitively that way, and if you teach cognitively that way to our children, instead of depressing them with you can't, and they can't, and this person can't, and you can't. This is all I hear from a whole bunch of Europeans talking about what we can and cannot do. And don't tell me, oh, Rich, you're from a different time and era. Well, there are people before me that were from a different time and era, and they did greater things than I could ever do with less. Wood, string, and spit. At least I got the opportunity to get a library card to go check the book out that I need to know about economics. At least I did have the opportunity where my father, my mother, my grandmother did not. I know all about Jim Crow. I don't live in Jim Crow. See, that's the other problem. We don't live in the past. Or rather, Black Americans, not as a whole, but a lot of you, want to live. Oh, Jim Crow hurt us. Oh, my God. Fight back. Our people did when they was fighting Jim Crow. They fought back. They fought back. When they were suffering it, they fought back. I want to say something to a lot of you. Y'all just talk. All talk. Y'all need to come on the show and fill up my time slot, because y'all all talk. I don't see none of you at any Veterans Affairs. All these so-called patriots. I don't see none of you at none of these Veterans Affairs because you're too worried about who's there politically instead of being there for the veterans and showing them support, especially at the flag raisings at the media courthouse. Instead of showing up in support for the color guard, instead of showing up in support for the American Legion, instead of showing up for the VFW members that show up there, instead of showing up and sitting down and having lunch on these particular days that we're having these ceremonies to recognize stuff, I don't see none of these so-called patriots there. None of you. Now call me out on that. Now call me out on that. You're so American. So American. The wonderful world of Rich Blye. Welcome to my show. This is how I get down. See, when the words are on the page, you can't put a voice to it. When the words are on the page, you think that it's just he's just saying that. I'm 10 toes down on everything that I do, Politics of Delco as a group. And all of those racist ass people in there that want to talk about black people, and you ain't got none of that type of experience about nothing that goes on with us. Just keep your asses on the sideline. Some of you Europeans, I don't care who you are. I don't care how you vote. I don't care who you like. You don't understand the circumstances of a lot of black folks in here and getting a job and then, losing a job and then whatever. But it still takes a special skill to elevate yourself past. I went from dishwasher, fry guy, slide over to saute, slide over in the broiler. Next thing you know, I'm running the line. Next thing you know, I'm in charge of the store. But I don't stop there. Person in charge is not where I want to be. I love the industry that I'm in, so I take certifications and tests to validate myself in order to move up to the next level and impress myself with a resume that I learned as a child under the former mayor, Wilson Good's mayor's program for summer youth program, where they sat you down just like we have all across the township, summer youth programs where we're teaching our kids how to do resumes because we realize they're not getting in school. See, it's a damn trifling shame for some of these Europeans to talk about these kids don't have access when I'm telling you that up here in Chester and some other places, we out every weekend with these kids. We have experts to put in front of them. We heard the stories before from the past. You can't expect. We are doing this our way, not your way. Your way is a loser way. Your thought is a loser thought. You are losers because you constantly come for our necks about what we don't do, but you don't come here and see what we are doing. You don't see a team building that we build up here. You don't hear from the same parents and everything. And when I say that we're conducting a survey to get real raw data from a real central area that's very critical to the black experience, Chester is the black city. I got people talking about, oh, well, you said you're going to produce. I didn't say none of that. That's because you can't comprehend. Politics of Delco. Y'all so quick to bite in somebody's ass that y'all can't chew the fat for a minute and digest what's being said to you. You're just ready to bite. And that's why I look at you as imbeciles. Because this list of get a job, Trust me, I said to my children, go get a job. Do something that nobody else wants to do. You still getting paid. We said the same thing. Robert Townsend's Hollywood Shuffle. There's always work at the post office. Instead of you doing something against your character, like sticking your lips out and sticking your butt out and being a jigaboo. That was the message behind that movie with Robert Townsend. His life, instead of him going out and selling himself out for some chump change and $1 over a movie, he moved himself out and went and worked a menial job, what you call menial, but worked a government job with benefits. There are so many openings for our children, but because we won't direct their paths and get them on the roads that they need to with this resistance, and we got so many of you Europeans in the way, y'all need to shut up, because you ain't been there. You don't show up. You don't support. And I'm not talking about the ones that do, so don't go, I do. I'm not talking to you. I support in my own way. I know. You give to some nondescript nonprofit somewhere else in somebody else's country, someplace else, but got a nerve to talk about what's going on here in Delco. 3, wait until marriage to have children. We are asking our children not to have unprotected sex until you are capable of supporting a family. Wait a minute. A white man posted in the Politics of Delco that one of the reasons that black people have problems is that we're not waiting until marriage to have children. And people are mad about that, but they love to tease us about our baby mamas and baby daddies. You friggin' hypocrites. Hypocrites. That did my baby dad. That's your baby mama. And I'm talking about Republicans and Democrats, especially in the Politics of Delco. They've done it. They think it's a joke. They think it's funny to laugh at young children having children, and they got baby mamas and baby daddies, and yet these people are married, and they waited until they got married and had their children. But going to laugh at a white man posting to black people, hey, wait until marriage to have children. If you are married, stay married. What's wrong with telling happily married people? Hold on, he didn't say if you're a man and a woman. He said if you are married. This is how you know people don't read, and reading is fundamental. They jumped on the whole marriage kick about him because they thought he was talking in conventional terms. But nothing in here suggests that he says man and woman. It says wait until marriage to have children. And we know some people can't biologically have children for whatever reason, barrenness, or because people are same sex, whatever, excuse my French. That's how I'm putting it. It's my world. And we know that that is not possible. That's why there's adoption. That's why there's surrogate. Because we have these options, and nothing's wrong with that either. But if you are married, stay married. Noting nothing is more detrimental to your financial or mental stress than divorce. Black people have the highest rate of divorce because we are not emotionally secure with our mates, and this is why we have podcasts to talk about this. We talk about this topic, Europeans, on the Politics of Delco page. We talk about this We talked about the sanctity of marriage. We talked about our mothers and our fathers being married. We talked about what happened to that. Why aren't women wanting to marry men? Why aren't men willing to stay committed in a relationship with their wife or whatever, for whatever reason? This comes across all of our podcasts on any different segment. But you mad because a white man said, if you are married, stay married. Nothing is more detrimental to your financial or mental stress than divorce. Nothing is more important to your children's financial and mental health either. How many people are children of divorce? How many people played that tug of war game between you with the courts and all this other type stuff, blah, 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 blah? How many times have we seen this in the course of American history, life, every day, whether you be a superstar or a pauper? This is crazy to me that citizens of Delco, Politics of Delco, well, citizens is a close second, but Politics of Delco are mad because this is what we talk about in our black communities almost every week in our spaces. We talk about the same things you guys talk about because that's what Americans do. We understand these people, these Europeans in there don't see us as Americans. They don't even see us as people. You should see when there's something going wrong and the children are acting up and everything like that and everybody's visibly upset over here. The same people come in here with the chimping out. The same people come in here with the memes and the jokes and all types of stuff. But then when they get to work with you, hey, what's up, brother? You better be careful. I'm saying get inside of these groups and look for the names of people that you know all across Delaware County, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Some of these people are absolutely familiar. Some of these people absolutely you've been around. And this is exactly how they feel about you. Remember Ice Cube? This is what they think about you. This is what they think about you. Now, here comes the hardest part out of all of this. Obey the law. Understand. Hold on, wait a minute. He said, understand the law, obey the law. He didn't say nothing about compliance. He didn't say nothing about, when an officer comes, you don't have to exert your right. He said, if you get, see, people skid on it. If you get in a situation with the police, comply and fight them through the courts. Respect private property. Don't use illegal drugs, including pot. Marijuana still is illegal in Pennsylvania, so that takes care of that. Please don't use illegal drugs. Nobody wants you to be a cokehead. Nobody wants you to be a meth head. Respect private property. See, this is the funny thing about being in Delco. Everybody has this impression that I'm just this violent, destructive person and I'm going to hurt them or their person or whatever when I don't have a record of violence. Zero. I don't have a record of violence in Delco. I'm not going around smashing up people's cars and breaking in their windows and, taking their property off of porches, stealing bikes and, you know what I mean? Lawnmower equipment. But I got all these people, especially in the Politics of Delco, that got all this high and mightiness about their privileged European selves that they can talk down to you because if you're black, you got to be a criminal. Well, the truth of the matter is that I am a formerly convicted individual that was charged with a crime and had to plea bargain to make sure that I did not go to prison. Yes, I am. But my transcript reveals a hidden gem by the witness that the judge refused to consider, like my innocence. And that was at a time, of course, under a certain administration where it was lock them up and throw away the key. So we're not going to talk policy, because we're going to have to talk about who was in charge when I got that charge and how people were making money off of throwing little black boys in prison. There was a whole study about it, and I put that in to this group, and of course it got rejected because the Politics of Delco don't really care about you being black. None of them in there, except for my man Jim Burrows, because I don't know where it came from. He just woke up and said, this is what's needed here, and I'm going to back him up. Number 5, learn financial management. Learn how to balance your finances. Know what a credit score is. Understand the time value of money. Buy a home. If you need a car to work, remember it's a utility, not a status symbol. Most millionaires drive RAV4s or similar level vehicles. So I'm going to say this. I worked for a man by the name of Martin Fields, who was the owner of the Holiday Inn, City Line Avenue, years back when it was the Holiday Inn. I believe it's a Radisson now. But not only did he own that hotel, he owned another one in New York. And this man's a millionaire times over. His mama's a millionaire with her own money. Wife's a millionaire with her own money. And they lived up in the Villanova area. And I was a server at the restaurant that was in the Holiday Inn there on City Avenue in Philly. Okay, when it was the Holiday Inn. This is a long time ago. Like I said, I was young, I was hungry, I worked the line, and guess what? A server didn't come in. They hurriedly put me in a server shirt, and I went out, and I did not know that I was serving lunch to the man who owned the hotel, but because of my personality, because of my attitude, because of my quick and efficient detailed service, his driver / house person was going on vacation, and they needed somebody to come and fill in for 2 weeks while this man went on vacation. Now, I don't know about y'all, but if I'm a European millionaire, the last person I'm going to think that can work inside of my house with my Ming Dynasty furniture, with my 2 Afghan hounds, with my in-ground elevated swimming pool. Basically, this man decided that he had made the right decision and said, I need you to come to my house and be the houseman for the guy who's going on vacation for 2 weeks. And I did. I got to drive a Benz. I had to, be, valet driver for his wife. I had to take the dogs to the groomers, stuff like that, stuff that rich people have, folks doing. But what you don't understand is that what you might think is menial, degrading labor absolutely put me around people that had money. It put me in the proximity of money. It put me in the proximity of greatness, because I got to be in rooms with some real superstars when I had to go to social functions and be outside at a moment's notice to whisk them away from an event or whatever. But people walked up, people came out, smoked cigarettes, people came out and talked to you, doctors, lawyers, people of wealth and means wanted to help you and say, hey, what do you do here? I do this for, blah, 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 but I really work over here. Oh, you work for Martin? Oh, good God, blah, blah. Absolutely, because he's paying me well. With your personality, you should do this. Here's my card, young man. Opportunity. You know how many times I walk up to young black men and I give them my card and I tell them, hey, if you want free consultation on your idea on how to put together your business plan, and I can help you with this, and that's what I have a nonprofit for, so I can show you how somebody showed me how to get to this point so you could do better than me, help you get your LLC, help you write your bylaws. But see, we got these Europeans out here that don't want black men like me who speak like this to talk to any of these kids because they want them to stay trapped. Because you got to have a finger to point at. buy a home. Unfortunately, you can't do that in Delaware County with these unfair housing appraisals and the fact that the market has dipped by 2% and that it's on a low right now because of the interest rate. So it's kind of hard to buy a home. So I understand that. But you got to understand that the time value of money. Time is money. And our children don't know and can't understand the concept of time. And this is what we're trying to teach them in the many programs that we have. We need our kids to be on time. We need our kids to be ready. We need to have our kids presentable. Like what Tuskegee HBCU is doing right now and switching the pitch up and saying dress code, no bonnets, no do-rags. You're on one of the most prestigious, historically black college campuses in the nation, and you're bringing the street value of your life to their campus and ruining its image. And people are up in arms. I should be able to wear what I want. I should be able to do what I want. But you want people to take you seriously. You want people to respect you for the amount of money that you're asking for, but they see you go to class in your pajamas. And I know that was a big thing. Oh, everybody already did that. Everybody already did that. So just because you keep doing stupid things, we're supposed to keep doing stupid things? We're not supposed to change because we didn't already do that. We went to class during my grandmother's age dressed. We went to school dressed. We went to school dressed neatly. We had tie. We had button-down shirt. We went to college. College, you were dressed for college. Since college prepared you and propelled you into the next obligation of your life, a workforce with a meaningful salary so you can achieve all the American dream. But now you're telling our children who are already lax at the elementary, middle school, and high school level, who can't read, who can't do math. You see them in the street. You see the nonsense that they type on pages. You read it. You can't read it. I can't read it. Our children can't read it. Your grandchildren can't read it. But somehow somebody can finesse it enough to say, hey, this is what it is. And then we watched all of these degrading things that happen in our community. But you don't want us to talk about learn better financial management. And you don't want a white man who's giving positive tips, nothing in here says black, you black people ain't doing this, It's saying learn financial management. But see, this is what Europeans do. They want to attach themselves to something so black that they got to be angry about it at the same time. And you'll see that in the Politics of Delco. These are some of the most angriest Europeans. You got to come in here and visit this group. Y'all thought that going inside of white people only, white members only, and all these only white groups, come over here, black people, and come see what these people over here say about Chester. Come over here and see how they talk about you, and come see the names of people that you probably work with, Chester. See, we can't keep letting people get away with running their mouths because Facebook has removed the threat of getting popped in your mouth for the stuff that you say. See, it's easy in this day of free speech or lack thereof that you can say something and you can get away with it because you're not connected. Number 6, set a financial goal to have 1 year of your obligated expenses saved. This may take time to accumulate. It's a marathon, not a race. But once achieved, credit score improves, your financial freedom is set. I want to say this to the kids, okay? And anybody want to tell you that that's not true? I want you to look at a man who was over $50,000 in debt. Heard what I'm saying? Was. I had to pay that. It's easy for me to say, Jim Crow slavery. Oh, I can't do nothing. Oh my God. My father and my mother didn't prepare me for life. Oh. I got 3 degrees and I can't get a good job. I got 0 degrees. Always had a job. because I was always willing to work. That's the difference. You want specialized work. I'm a specialized person. I'm specialized in this. I'm so special. Oh my God, I'm so special. Especially some of you Europeans and some of you black folks that hang about these Europeans by proximity. You know what I mean? Like, you too Springfield. You too Havertown. You're not from the bricks. You're not from the bust your knuckles era. No way you can be. Because you wouldn't be making those excuses. If you were from the same dimensions I'm from, and you've passed through the same dimensions that I passed through, you're not one of us. You're not Gen X. Gen X gets shit done. We don't worry about you crybabies. For what? Y'all wasted energy. All that time that you spent crying, you could have been fixed your problem by now. That's what we heard growing up. All that crying you doing, you could have fixed your problem by now. Let me show you. See, if you did it like this, this is what happens. See, but the smart ones of us said, okay, Pop-Pop, so I do it like this. Yeah, you do it like that. So we did it Pop-Pop's way because Pop-Pop was right. Well, my mom was right. But we got people in this time, in this century, telling you to forget the foundational concepts that got people out of slavery, like the Freedmen's Bureau. We're forgetting that there's still black communities that existed since Reconstruction, like my hometown of Asheville, North Carolina. Now, it's not perfect. Nothing is. Because Delco damn sure ain't perfect. I can go in all sorts of parts of Delco and find racism easy. I know that there's areas that hate black people in Delco. We know this. Everybody don't love everybody. Now, Jesus say love everybody, but even those that pray to God, even those that pray to our Lord, they don't love everybody either. They ain't gonna let you in their house. They believe in the First Amendment right. They believe in the Second Amendment right. They believe in the Fourth Amendment right. But these are the same people that will tell you not to exercise your right in the country of your birth because you are poor and downtrodden and you can't get yourself out of poverty. When I see people with Chanel bags, when I see Birkin bags, when I see cars with rims that I know that cost a couple of mortgages. When I see the vacations people go on. That's not poverty. That's bad decisions of spending money foolishly and then bragging about it. And then in hard times, dire straits, you didn't create a parachute for yourself. You didn't create a cushion for yourself. You didn't put anything away for yourself. You didn't correct your financial matters. You stayed out here tricking. You stayed out here drinking. You stayed out here drugging. Let's stop playing the game. See, this is what these Europeans think that they see. But they got to understand something. Where I'm talking from, that person used to be me. So I'm talking from a place of experience. I got a great education. I went to the best schools. At the time when public school was absolutely matters, I went to the best schools from kindergarten all the way up to high school. No, I didn't get my shot for college. But I can tell you like this, I made more than a college graduate by the time I exited out of my profession. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that any job that I had, once I broke my cherry in this profession, was on par with college graduates and with degrees. Because what they lacked in experience, I had. What they lacked in thinking outside the box, I had. See, these one-dimensional Neanderthal knuckle draggers that are in the politics of Delco that like to call people out of their names and talk about them, but they won't say it publicly or let people hear the voice of them say it to them. These knuckle draggers will sit up here and come on posts and put words on posts, but here, you can save this one. It's forever. We don't delete any videos because welcome to the wonderful world of Rich Blye. See, Politics of Delco, I'm way bigger than that page. Don't ever fraud on me or come fronting on me with some BS from some liberal people and some conservative people about what we go through or what we're doing or what we're not doing. We're doing the same things on this damn list. Set a financial goal to have 1 year of your obligated expenses saved. This may take time to accumulate. It's a marathon, not a race. But once achieved, your credit score improves, your financial freedom is set. 7, build and use your network. Build and use your network. You know, my daughter's been on this show. My daughter has been on this show. And she will tell you that one of the things that I keep telling her is to build and use dad's network. When it comes to my children, the bridges that I made with people are not for me, they're for my children. I'm going to say this again. The bridges and the inroads that I made with people who work for me is not for me, it's for my children. It's so they don't have to suffer and go beg with nobody. They can come in and build with people with what they got that's going to appreciate them because they know the integrity of me. They know I'm going to show up. They know I'm going to produce. They know I'm going to out hustle. They know I'm not going to stop working. They know that I'm not going to stop moving. I will out hustle you. I will outperform you. I will out hustle you. I will outperform you. You think not? See, before I came here to Chester and came on this radio station, one of the things about people in Delco, Upper Darby in particular, is that they just thought that I was just going to go away some fly-by-night. Oh, he just mad about this. He just mad about this. He just mad about that. I'm not mad about nothing. I'm pissed. I'm pissed that we still got to keep talking about this 60s, 70s, and 80s nonsense that we graduated out of and became the new elders, but we still got some pissant Europeans that want to come on a page and talk about it's not like this, it's not like that, when we see it every day, especially up here in Chester, when I saw it every day, when I lived in Philly, because this is where I think a lot of people get me twisted. I'm not from Delco, champ. And I know you saying, oh, that's different. No, it's way different, bro. I didn't grow up like you. You right. I didn't grow up like you. Actually, I grew up better. But I made some choices in life that cost me. That's the difference. Some people may have grown up worse and getting on better in life. And we've seen that example. And some people grew up great, but wound up messing up their inheritance and the tribute that their family made for them and the bridge that they built for them because they made bad decisions. And that's what this list is for. And I don't see anything wrong with it as a black man, because these are the problems that we're talking about in our community today. Build and use your network. As you work and move to different jobs, ensure you're keeping in contact with managers and owners. Never leave a job on bad terms. Never trash a former employee or their business. Never be an a-hole to people. Be polite always. Now, as a restaurant manager, I taught this. I taught you never know who's in front of you. I taught my children this. I taught my children that when you have a job, you give 2 weeks notice. Now, most jobs will go ahead and let you go. I prepared them for this. Most jobs will go ahead and let you go, and that's fine, but you put your notice in. They can accept your notice and say, that's fine. Today's your last day. That's at will. Welcome to the state of Pennsylvania. But I taught them this. Always. If you leave a job for another job, hey, make sure you put your 2 weeks notice in. Make sure you fill your job all the way out. Make sure you do the requirements. Still show up just like you did when you first got there. Show up the same way when you exit out of the door, because you never know when that car is going to spin the block for you again. And I can attest to that because I work for a place called Lone Star Steakhouse and Saloon. Delran, New Jersey. Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Over in Delaware, off of Route 13. It's now a Dunkin' Donuts. You know what I'm talking about if you're from this area. And if you go back that far and you came in there and ate and you saw the black man in the blue button up, you definitely talked to me. I was bought back specifically. I left that company, left on good terms, put my notice in, said goodbye, went on to different things, was going to do some great things someplace else. It didn't work out, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, I'm at a wedding and the same person that hired me the first time is calling me the second time and saying, look here, I need you to come back, blah, blah, blah. He talks to his boss. The boss says, well, how much time does he need? He said he needs 2 weeks worth of retraining. He doesn't need a full 8 weeks. He needs 2 weeks. This is a true story. Left a store when I left the company, it was a bottom 50 store. Got transferred back in the second time. It was number 3 in the nation. There's reasons for that. And I'm not being braggadocious. I'm trying to give kids something to aspire to because just like you, I got told you're poor. I got told the same things. You can't. And you keep listening to these Europeans on this page or out here in this world that keep telling you that you can't do something. I'm here to tell you, let me inspire you to reach a goal. Let me help you out a little bit. Let me stop letting you listening to these naysayers all of the time, these negative Nancy's, these people that just want to keep you because you know what they need? They need an N-word to point at. They need to say, see, there they go again. There they go again. But yet, a white European man comes on and says the biggest problems facing black Americans is not white American. And he's absolutely right. Our problem is economic. Our problem is lack of emotional intelligence in situations and being able to have conflict resolution skills so we're not killing each other. We need to have a better respect for our women because black women are still the least protected, most vulnerable people on this planet, especially in this nation. Our children are below a reading percentage, a reading percentile, a math percentile. And more, as you just seen, there's a 20-year agreement to ship your child out of this county into parts unknown. And you got 2 Democrats that applauded and said, this is good, this is good, this is a good deal. It's a good deal. But Jim Crow. Oh my God, Jim Crow. Jim Crow. Oh, Jim Crow. Oh, Jim Crow. But y'all voted for 5 people that voted to send your kids out of town on a hip hop ride as far as Ohio. Make it make sense to me. Oh, you don't believe me? Go back and read the minutes all the way back in April when they made the final approvals and they made the budget and they are paying for 8 beds at $1.1 million. That's $125,000 a bed, guaranteed. Instead of bringing back community service for low-level petty stuff that these kids get into. You don't want to do that. You don't want to assign them to a nonprofit where they can work off some of that frustration, debt, or whatever it is that you want to do. You want to send these kids away and make them even more criminal because now you're separating them from their families. So they're not getting into these economics. They're getting more thugonomics. They're getting more criminal minded. And you're happy to clap and rally against a white man posting truths in Politics of Delco because you Europeans need an N-word to point out. I can all but guarantee you that if you are 18 to 20 years old right now, you can most likely be a millionaire in 15 years. And none of it has to do with anyone but you and your spouse, not the government, not the politicians, not some imaginary cabal that is secretly holding you down, not college, which is optional because you can go to trade school. We do live in the greatest nation in history. Go be wealthy and happy. Ditch anyone that tries to convince you that you cannot succeed here. This is written by a white man by the name of Jim Burrows. If everybody is following me and you went to Politics of Delco because it's a public page and you can see it, don't worry, I'm going to share it onto my page. I'm going to make sure that it gets there so you can read the comments, because these Europeans in here is just ragging at the black experience like we ain't trying to achieve nothing on this list. Everything on this list is what our programs is about. We trying to get our kids to graduate at a higher rate. We are trying to find jobs and get them job ready and help them look for other things. We are teaching the value and sanctity of marriage and chastity and waiting for the right time and not putting yourself out there and blowing your seed and wasting it out there and getting sexual transmitted diseases. What do you think we talking about when we got our kids together, our black children? You think we ain't telling our kids to obey the law? You think that we loving the fact that we're watching black children be assaulted by cops who don't give a damn about these black children, and we're telling them, hey, survive the encounter? Killer Mike said that. Survive the encounter. I tell my kids, don't mouth off to no cop. I got the lawyer. Make sure you comply with that cop. Give him your license, registration, insurance, and shut the hell up. All of his information is going to be on the citation. Don't ask him no questions. Don't talk to him. Don't talk to no cop. Don't talk to him. Don't talk to him. Just give them what they need so they can get done with you, and you give me the ticket, and then I'll see him in court. I taught my children the value of having their license, registration, and insurance in one place handy, so when they do get pulled over by law enforcement, that law enforcement follows their protocol, that once they've received the required information in order to put it into David, that they can turn around and complete the stop, so that way my child can get on with their way, because they don't have drugs in their car, because they don't do any crimes. But I know that sometimes you get stopped. You might go through a red light. You might go through a stop sign. It might be a vehicle malfunction with a light or something like that. That's nothing to get upset with a cop for. Give them the damn license. They got your stuff once they run your plate anyway in the state of Pennsylvania. They know if you got insurance or not. All of it's interconnected. They just need to make sure that the person that's registered the car is the person that's driving, and if not, what is your purpose, blah, 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 blah. But you got all these people that want to be internet lawyers, little TV Benjamin Crumps, what you pulled me over for. Look, I'm not telling you to be punked to a cop that's mouthing off you for whatever reason, but at the end of the day, you're going to keep that cop there on your car that long? I don't understand that, because when I was out in the street, my job was to get rid of this cop as quick as possible. Y'all join with the cop for 12 minutes on a traffic stop. Your traffic stop shouldn't take no more than 15 minutes. But because you running your mouth over something that's so petty that your mommy and daddy can handle. But y'all telling us, oh, don't obey the law. This is part of the reason why our children are dying the way that they are. Because we got cops. Some know how to obey the law and some don't. It depends on what area you're in. You're seeing it on the news, but you mad at a white man wrote a list of items that we're working on as a black community. This is the whole damn list. Wait, watch this. Whole list. Graduate high school. We telling our kids to graduate high school? Get a job. We telling our kids how to get a job? Wait until marriage to have children. Oh, hey, look here. I had my children out of wedlock. Okay? What's wrong with that? Obey the law. Learn financial management. Set a financial goal to have 1 year of your obligated expenses saved. Build and use your network. I can guarantee you that if you're 18 to 20 years old right now, and if you follow some of these ideas along with other ideas that you get, because this is just an abstract, you and your spouse can obtain money. Not the government, not the politicians, not some imaginary cabal that's secretly holding you down. The white man is not holding anybody down. We keep going along with this fallacy, and I keep seeing people make money. And like I said, I've been in some racist areas. I've been in some racist states. And guess what? Been there, done that, don't go back. I can't change the racism in the world. That's not my job. My job is to change the hearts and the mind of the willing that want to achieve greatness. Not slugs, not idiots, but I had to come and address the politics of Delco because you guys are absolutely racist. And I've been waiting to say this for a long time on this page. So I wanted to make sure that I share this in here because I know I'm getting kicked out after this for the third time. But y'all some racist motherfuckers in there. I don't care if you conservative, progressive, moderate. The shit that y'all said on that page, I hope people go on that page and recognize you and help you to understand that what this man, Jim Burrows, put on that page ain't nothing different than what we're teaching right now with our movement to move our children in a positive direction. We want all of that. We're sending our kids on proms, on dates. So they're going out with their first loves. They're going out with children that grew up together, that find love. And these two people, usually from prom, move on into marriage, just like in white America. But here you are getting mad at a white man agreeing that part of the problem in the black community is that we don't value the sanctity of marriage and we have the highest divorce rate amongst all of our peers. He ain't say nothing wrong. Everything he said is still the positive reinforcement of things that I've said, things Uncle P has said, things that content creators have come in here and said. The respect and the honor that you guys talk about so much, but then a white man says, hey, this is not the problem. White people ain't holding nobody back from you holding yourself honorable. Ain't no white man coming knocking on your door. Hey, don't teach your kids how to be this, to be that, or I'm going to beat you up. We can pay for our own schools. Everybody else do. How do you think those Montessoris get built? You really want your own school? You really want your own curriculum? Here you go. You can do that. But you got to have the emotional intelligence and stop being mean to each other to achieve these goals like you see everybody else doing, because that's what everybody else is doing. If you think that crack or meth ain't in the white families, you crazy. If you think that they living high off the hog, off of these salaries, yo, these people are walking around in so much credit card debt that they broke. They just making their struggle look good. They're not out here walking around with all this gaudy wear on and putting the shine on outside and knowing that you on your hands and knees before you go to bed, asking God, help me get this money so I can feed my kids something in the morning. I see these type of posts that we have our black women begging. It happens. I ain't saying all of you, but we see it. But we want to condone certain behaviors because we don't want to be truthful about what's going on in our communities. But see, guess what? That's not what anybody's here for. The kids know the truth. The kids are telling the truth. That's the whole reason why this radio station does surveys. We're going to get to the truth, and we're going to put that truth in your face. It's going to be indisputable. It's not going to be some abstract from someplace else. It's information gathered by the people to give to the people and make great determinations based upon these factors to propel our children into a different direction without you, because you're a distraction. You're in our way. Once again, you were in our way in the 70s. You were in our way in the 80s. You definitely got in our way in the 90s. And I'm from all of that. I survived all of that. So you punk motherfuckers can't sit up here and tell me nothing about what's happened out in this world. I survived all of that. 2 assassination attempts. So when I'm telling my young people, when I'm telling my young boys something, I'm telling them something from experience, that I used to be like that, but I achieved certain levels of greatness by making small sacrifices. I was on the show on Friday when I talked about the fact that I used to have braids. My hair used to be out like a Jackson 5 afro, ludicrous and all. Yeah, I used to be like that. I said I used to be one of them bulls where my vanity was on display. I'm speaking from a place of truth. See, I don't have no abstract to give you politics of Delco. Y'all some fraudulent individuals. And now that I see who you are, that you're a fraudulent individual, that you actually hate black people, that you hate that somebody can speak up on our behalf, that absolutely gives a damn about what's going on, and spoke some truths on this white, conservative, progressive, liberal page where y'all spew filth and hate all day. Somebody comes in and reaffirms in the positive that this is what's going on in our communities, and these are the issues that we need to tackle, and these are the very issues that we're tackling. Let's go again, because you guys don't get it. And this is what pissed me off, because I was going to talk about something else, but I want to talk about you Europeans, especially you Europeans on this page. We have the lowest percentage of high school graduates in any school district anywhere in the tri-state. He didn't say no lie. That's not a lie. Go to Children's First. Go get the study that was commissioned by Mary Gay Scanlon, Congresswoman Mary Gay Scanlon, where all of your school district superintendents was at the meeting at the Wallingford Library, because I was there. I was there. Yes, I was. One of the only black people there. That's how you know I was there. Because I'm usually one of the only black people there in a sea full of Europeans. Does it sound like I don't like you today? Does it sound like I'm pissed off today? No, I don't like you today. Because I'm sick and tired of these back and forths of you talking about my people and talking about our conflict. I've heard this stuff since the 70s. I heard this all during the 80s. But I know for a fact every time we try to do something, you Europeans get in the way. And I'm not talking about all Europeans, but some of y'all know who y'all are. And I'm addressing it right on your page. So when you see me in public and you see this hat, you can come up to me and say, hey, Rich, fuck you. I ain't like what you said. But come up and say it. Be American. Don't be on a page talking shit about me and think that I'm not going to address it. Don't think that I'm not going to walk these streets in public and see you and be like, yo, what's up? Is there a problem? Is there a problem with my speech? Is there a problem with my experience? Is there a problem with my life? Because I don't like that. This man didn't tell no lies. We do have a problem with employment of our children because they are not properly trained to handle themselves out here in this corporate world where you Europeans are, and you're doing most of the hiring and you're doing most of the firing. A lot of times these kids start out where? Fast food. My specialty. I'm a McDonald's kid. Mickey D's, damn right, flipping burgers back in the day, not the press machines, folks, when you actually got a Egg McMuffin that you had to whisk the egg up in the jar and turn it over with the water. Yeah, I'm from that era. So we have the mechanical skills. We have the muscle memory of the acute things that you want to teach your kids. But because you say they don't need all of that, they ain't got none of nothing. You done gave them slip-on shoes. Now they don't even know how to tie them. That's what I'm talking about. You gave them slip-on shoes so they don't even have to tie their shoes. That means they don't have the muscle mechanics or the memory unless it's sports activated with their digits or with their electronics. People don't understand the little things that you do, like how you do stuff with a zipper. And your brain reacts to these things and the muscle memory that's created from these activities. You guys know this, you Europeans, but you know what you do? You come on posts like this and you dissuade black people from thinking, oh yeah, I must be a slave. Oh yeah, Jim Crow. Oh, Jim Crow. Jim Crow hurting me today. Jim Crow's hurting me today. If this was Jim Crow, you couldn't get on a bus. If this was Jim Crow, you couldn't get on a plane. If this was Jim Crow, you'd still be eating in the back of the restaurant outside by the screen door. Losing your mind, filling our kids with negative backward ass garbage, going in the wrong direction. We're about freedom. We're about strength. We're about honor. We're about resilience. We're about all the positive things that you hear out here in your European communities, but you keep turning around and trying to tell us to keep looking backwards and downwards and cast our eyes down. I'm trying to tell you something, young people. Put some bass in your throat. Stop shuffling for these people. This is what they think about you. I love you. You know why I love you? Because you're the Black City of Chester. Damn right. That's why I come here. Because you're the Black City of Chester. When people talk about y'all, when people talk about you, I defend it. I know I'm not from here. I know I ain't family here, blah, blah, blah. But I'd have met some people that I thought I wasn't going to meet, by coming to Chester, like Miss Mary Rice. Oops. I got to put you out there, Miss Mary. I told you I was going to quote you. She gonna get me for that one. I did friend request this. I don't know if she hit me back yet. Thanks, Miss Mary Rice. But no, it was a pleasure seeing a lot of people that I normally see only on Facebook, and to see you out in public, it's a good look for me because, we have jokes, we conversate, we talk about real life shit on Facebook, but then to see you out in public and make that connection is even better because I already feel a kinship or camaraderie with you. A lot of people don't understand that we've seen some of our friends go through some of the worst child support issues, child custody issues, death, life, things like that. And the same things that these Caucasians, these Europeans keep talking about how we can't do this. And this is a struggle. And this is a struggle. No, it comes from us not collectively working together. Because yes, as individuals, we can achieve great things. But imagine if we were able to get the group thought process of handling our financial business together. Imagine what that's we can achieve. And somebody say, oh, they're going to take it from me. Let me explain something to you. Did they take anything from the man who created Thermo King? Did they take that from him? Did they take that from him? Did they take Hidden Valley Ranch from the guy who made Hidden Valley Ranch and they ran out of Hidden Valley Ranch which drove that stock up for that family, for the man who created Hidden Valley Ranch dressing? When the World Cup came over here and bought that secret recipe packets by the case? You know how many entrepreneur black people made money during the World Cup down in Philly when they finally figured out that if you put that PA 250 up on there, that people was going to come and see who you are because they saw you in that portal that they had for you, and that steered money in your direction because they came and told you how we're going to steer money your direction, and you got to do this. And what did you do? You didn't show up. But I brought the person to you. I brought the person to you. I brought the knowledge to you. Every time. Ask around. I'm usually the only black man in the room. This is why the government don't want me to be around when they make these announcements that they have stuff now. I'm on a blackout because they don't want this black man in the room because they know I'm going to come tell you the truth. I'm not going to butter it up. Oh, I met the council president, and it was just such a lovely time, and womble, womble, womble. I don't do that crap. What for? We got people that owe taxes and taking people's houses. We got people that owe taxes and want to take people's land. We got people that owe taxes but want to put other people out of work. We got people that owe taxes, but they can go on trips and hiatuses and come back and everything's just hunky-dory with me. And I'm just going to talk about how fantastic my life is while somebody was struggling to eat while you were on vacation. Some people died while you were out hobnobbing with the governor. See, y'all put these people on pedestals like they're gods. I can't do that. I'm not putting nobody's title above my Lord, the Lord of hosts. I'm not putting nobody in no regard past my faith in knowing what I believe. See, I'm 59, folks. I'm not fresh off the farm. My experiences are true. I'm not reading from the news and saying, hey, this happened to me. No, this is what happened to me, champ. This is my life. My life is based on a true story. I told my daughter this. My daughter said, Dad, a lot of people, they don't understand you. I said, yeah? Well, watch this. I said, do you know that post that I put up that says Richard Blye, 19 September, which is the date of my birth? Yeah. I said, if you read it, if you really read it, then you would know who I am. I tell everybody exactly who I am, P. I don't make no bones and try to put on no airs for nobody to impress. I don't care if you ain't impressed with. I don't care about that. You really think that I'm impressed? That you're impressed or want me to be impressed? No, I don't do that. I'm cordial. I'm happy to see you. But put on a monkey shine and I don't even do that with Mayor Stephon Roots. How you doing, Mayor Roots? Good to see you. Cordial. When I see Mary Gay Scanlon, hey, Mary, I don't even call her Congresswoman. I say, hey, Mary, how you doing? I had a glove on the last time I saw her. That was on June 20th. I was leaving the park area, and I had on a half glove. And she put her hand out to me to go shake it. And I had to remember myself. I'm a gentleman. Let me take the glove off. Hey, Mary, how you doing? How you doing, Congresswoman? That's how I did it. Hey, Mary, how you doing, Congresswoman? I addressed her first. She was like, I'm fine. How are you, Richard? I said, I'm doing great, Mary. It's good to see you. Good health? She's like, yeah. All right. Very cordial. I don't have no hatred towards that woman. I may not agree. Like I told her, I may not agree, but that's not hate. You people hate. You people hate. You're haters. You don't want to see nobody else's perspective because your dumbasses think that the way that you grew up is good enough for anybody. You don't care about the perspective of our young people today because you're already judgmental based upon what you see on TV. But I can tell you here at cmpradio.net, when we have our programs, we don't need no damn cops. We don't need nobody. We handle it ourselves because guess what? We're cultivating maturity and positivity. So anybody that comes and see us, they know it's laid back. They know it's for them. They know it's love. They know the people that's there. Everybody that's there is from a scene. Anybody that comes through has family there. That's the beauty and the part of this of doing it community style. We're there for those kids. When the kids was playing basketball and we had the free treats out there, P, guess what I did? I said, hey, wait a minute. I know y'all over here running ball. Bring yourselves over here and do this survey real quick so y'all can get some of these goodies. Get this water ice. Y'all out here sweating and everything like that. You know what happened because of that? And everybody didn't see that. And this one's for me because I know what I was looking for. I got to talk to these young people up here. I got to motivate them and tell them that, hey, we're proud of you. Keep going. I got to reinforce the encouragement to these young men and the young lady that was running ball with them because there's always a tomboy in there, bro. And that's what I liked about it. She was in there scrapping it out, on that half-court game. But on their picnic table, they had all of the treats and the stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. And rightfully so, because you know why? There's no trash can in that proximity where there's a picnic table that's holding their drinks and their food and everything like that. So if it's not in their proximity to put it in the trash, a child ain't going to do it. We know this. We're parents. It's something that has to be taught. How many times you got to tell your child to pick up the clothes? How many times you got to tell your child to put something in the trash? How many times you got to tell your child to brush their teeth? How many times you got to tell your child to wash the dishes? So we know that we have to teach this. So the things that's on this list that's written by this white man are things that we do have to teach. Ain't nothing on here is a lie. Ain't nothing on here that he said was racist. Nothing. But here go these Europeans that want to rally for black people. These were Europeans that want to rally for black people so hard, they're the biggest racists, bro. Secretly, I'm dead serious. They are the biggest ones. They like the black people they like. The safe, non-confrontational, pseudo, non-threatening Negro. That's what they want. So when you come onto my page, because I know I'm going to get some new visits on all of my profiles, please do yourself a favor. I'm the same way right now that I am in the street. That's a warning. Number 2, I don't argue with women. I don't argue with women. I don't argue with women. So, ladies, you are exempt from having a debate with me because I'm going to ignore you and walk right past you. Not because you're a woman. I'm a man, and I know that a man does not win arguments with women, especially women that don't belong to you, because you get more physical, you raise your voice, you talk to us like we ain't nothing, and we don't belong to you. So I don't argue with women like that. That's just a me. It ain't because you're a woman. It's because you're going to do it. And it's happened. It's been proven over time. And my model works by not arguing with women. I ain't going to argue with you on Facebook. Don't tag me. Don't tag me, because I'm going to Amy O'Toole you and send you to oblivion and keep it moving. I don't argue with women on Facebook or in public or in private. I don't do that. So that's my rule. So ladies, you may have an opinion. You can go ahead and put it in the comments. I ain't answering it, so it's going to stay there. But please, if you do see me in public and you don't like what I say, you're just going to have to keep it to yourself, or send your husband over and ask your husband to talk to me. Don't do that, because, like I said, I'm just going to ignore you and walk away, because it's not worth my time. Like I said, it's not you being a woman. It's me being a man, because that's what men do. We don't argue with petty women. All right? So, anything else, sir? Did I hit the nail on the head a little bit with this group that I don't like?
I don't know. I'm not in that group.
I know you ain't in that group,
right?
But I know that group seeing this podcast, because I'm tired of these fools. I'm tired of them. Listen, bro, and I'm gonna say this very gently. Like I told my daughter, I had to go and get some food yesterday. And when I went to go get the food, there was myself, a young black American boy, and a Hispanic gentleman. I'm not going to say he was from Mexico or anything like that. He might be from Peru or something like that or whatever. But I'm just going to say a person that looks Hispanic. I'm the first. The young black kid is second. The other guy's on the other side reading the menu. So it's me and a little kid. Okay? I already placed my order. I move out the way. The kid goes up and says, "Excuse me." Hold on. "Excuse me. I placed an order." But before he could finish out of his mouth, the Hispanic dude came over to, "Oh, yeah, da, 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 da." So the lady ignored the kid, the black American kid. And I said, "Hold on a second." I said, "Yo, excuse me." I said, "What was you saying?" So he asked her, because he was picking the order. The order's paid for. He's just there to pick it up. That's all she had to do, is turn around, hand him the order, blah, blah, blah. He's just there to pick it up. But I stopped that young man and I told him, I said, "Young man, don't you ever, and I mean ever, let anybody walk in front of you after you acknowledge yourself and your presence to finish a transaction." And I looked straight at the dude, because you know what he did. This is what I'm trying to teach. We should not have that type of fear built in our children. We allow other people to be disrespectful because you don't understand custom. I get it. You don't understand custom. But that's part of what's being American. We're supposed to show that example of what a custom and point it out in a positive way by saying.
Part of being what?
As being an American.
Being human.
Okay.
Fuck. Like what?
No, I'm only speaking for myself. I can't speak internationally, bro. I'm speaking for my country. I'm speaking for where I'm at.
But let's see. That's a part of being human.
Okay. Part of being human.
Nothing to
right.
do.
Okay. Part of being human.
Right?
But again,
because if we go by being American, it's your job to steal shit and beat people down.
We go.
Like, come on.
Here we
we're
go.
not allowed to talk about that. Let's forget about that. Let's go.
I'm talking. Listen.
You're done. It's over. Let's go.
Join us next week, where we have the Beat Down America show on the Wonderful World.
The Beat Down America show.
Yeah, we're going to have to
you beating everybody else down. I don't know what custom you come from. I don't know what you're used to doing, but we show respect here in the store. They used to have whites only. You talk about people getting on the back of buses.
No. I didn't say nothing about a whites only store. I did this in front of recently arrived immigrants.
Who was the cash register?
And hold on, watch this. A brand new set of Asians.
Who was behind the cash register?
A brand new set of Asians.
A brand new set of Asians.
Yes, the business is being sold. So how the Asian families do it? This is how the Asian families do it.
They come, they make business.
No,
they don't
sell it. They don't.
They sell it to the family and they go back home.
No.
Another group.
No. They phase them in so that way you become comfortable with their next counterpart. So by the time you have an effect where you don't remember, hey, where's the other boy? Blah 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 blah. They're phased in. It's a phase in. It's not a complete selling. They stay throughout. They do their own training. They get people familiar with who's the regulars are, so they know you. So by the time they do slip out, they don't say goodbye. They just go, and then now you got the next person. That's how it's done. That's how it's being done. So that's why I wanted that young man to understand, to establish himself in front of these Asian Americans and in front of these newly arrived, soon-to-be Americans, because this land is your land. This land is my land.